Hello everyone and welcome. I'm glad you're here today. I'm excited to introduce our presentation on computerized system validation, or CSV for short. Today, we'll explore how CSV helps ensure compliance, accuracy, and integrity in our systems. We'll cover the key steps involved, best practices, and why this process is so vital for our success. So, let's get started and see how we can make our systems more reliable and compliant together. Now, let's talk about what CSV really means. CSV stands for Computer System Validation, and it's essentially a documented process that ensures a computer system functions exactly as it's supposed to. It's about having the right checks and balances in place to confirm that everything is working correctly. This process isn't just good practice. It's often a regulatory requirement, especially in industries like pharmaceuticals and healthcare. For example, standards like FDA 21 CFR Part 11 and EU Annex 11 set strict rules for electronic records and signatures, and CSV helps companies meet those standards. But beyond compliance, the main goal of CSV is to protect data integrity, ensure product quality, and ultimately safeguard patient safety. When systems are validated properly, we can trust that the data generated is accurate and reliable, which is critical in making informed decisions. So, in the context of our overall theme, CSV is the foundation that helps ensure that our systems are not only compliant, but also trustworthy, supporting high-quality products and safe patient outcomes. Let's take a closer look at the regulatory background that shapes how we manage electronic systems. First, we have 21 CFR Part 11, which is a key regulation in the United States that sets the controls for electronic records and signatures. It essentially ensures that electronic data is trustworthy, reliable, and equivalent to paper records. Moving over to Europe, there's EU Annex 11, which provides guidance specifically for computerized systems used in good manufacturing practice, or GMP, environments. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining data integrity and system security in regulated industries. Now, the overarching goal of these regulations is clear. Systems must be validated. That means we need to thoroughly test and document that our electronic systems are functioning correctly and consistently. Validation isn't just a checkbox. It's a critical process to ensure compliance and, ultimately, product quality and patient safety. Together, these regulations form the backbone of our compliance efforts, ensuring that our electronic systems are robust, trustworthy, and fit for purpose within the highly regulated pharmaceutical landscape. Now, let's take a closer look at the CSV lifecycle, which is a crucial framework for ensuring quality and compliance throughout a project. It all begins with planning, where we define the scope, objectives, and requirements for the system or process we're working on. This phase sets the foundation for everything that follows. Next is risk assessment, where we identify potential risks early on, evaluate their impact, and develop strategies to mitigate them. This step is vital because it helps us proactively address issues before they become bigger problems down the line. Following that, we have the User Requirement Specifications, or URS. This document captures what the end users need from the system. It's all about understanding their expectations and ensuring the project aligns with their needs. Once we have the URS, we move into developing the Functional Specifications, or FS. This step translates user needs into detailed functions and features that the system must perform, serving as a bridge between user requirements and technical design. From there, we create the Design Specification, or DS, which provides detailed instructions on how to build or configure the system. It's the blueprint that guides the actual development or installation. After the design phase, we conduct Installation Qualification, IQ, to verify that the system has been installed correctly, and Operational Qualification, OQ, to ensure it functions as intended under operational conditions. Finally, Performance Qualification, PQ, confirms that the system consistently performs according to specified requirements in real-world scenarios. And of course, the life cycle doesn't end there. Maintenance and periodic review are ongoing activities that ensure the system remains compliant, effective, and aligned with evolving standards and user needs over time. By following this life cycle, we create a structured approach that supports quality, compliance, and continuous improvement throughout the entire system's life. Now, let's take a closer look at the key steps involved in the validation process. First, we have the Validation Master Plan, or VMP. This is essentially our roadmap. It outlines the scope, objectives, and overall strategy for the validation activities. It's important because it sets the foundation for everything that follows. Next, we move on to vendor assessment. Before we can validate any equipment or systems, we need to ensure that our vendors meet quality standards and deliver reliable products. This step helps us mitigate risks early on. Then we have test protocols, which include IQ, OQ, and PQ. These stand for Installation Qualification, Operational Qualification, and Performance Qualification. Each of these tests verifies different aspects: that the equipment is installed correctly, operates as intended, and performs consistently under real-world conditions. Traceability Matrix is our tool for ensuring that all validation activities are linked back to specific requirements. It helps us maintain oversight and ensures nothing is overlooked. Finally, we compile all these results into a validation summary report. This report provides a comprehensive overview of the validation process, confirming that all key requirements have been met and that the system is validated for use. Together, these steps create a structured, thorough approach that supports our overall goal: delivering safe, effective, and compliant systems. Now, let's talk about our risk-based approach. The idea here is to focus our efforts where it truly matters, which means prioritizing based on the criticality of each system. Essentially, we assess which systems have the most significant impact on quality, compliance, and patient safety, and then direct our resources accordingly. For high-risk systems, we go even deeper with validation activities, ensuring these are thoroughly tested and validated to minimize any potential issues. It's about being smart with our time and resources, making sure we're not over-investing in low-risk areas, but maintaining rigorous standards where the stakes are highest. We also follow the GAMP5 methodology throughout this process. This framework helps us structure our validation activities systematically, ensuring consistency and compliance with industry best practices. By integrating this approach, we can effectively manage risk while maintaining a compliant and efficient validation process. Overall, this risk-based strategy aligns perfectly with our goal of ensuring quality and reliability in a practical, targeted way. Now, let's take a closer look at the importance of documentation in our process. First, we have the User Requirement Specification, or URS, which clearly defines what the end user needs from the system. Then there's the Functional Specification, or FS, that translates those needs into detailed functions and features. The Design Specification, or DS, takes it a step further by outlining how those functions will be technically implemented. Moving on, the IQ, OQ, and PQ protocols and reports are essential for validating the system. IQ, or Installation Qualification, confirms that the equipment has been installed correctly. OQ, or Operational Qualification, verifies that it operates as intended. And PQ, or Performance Qualification, ensures it performs consistently under real-world conditions. These validation steps are critical for quality assurance. We also rely heavily on Standard Operating Procedures, or SOPs, which provide standardized, repeatable instructions to ensure consistency and compliance across the board. Alongside that, we perform audit trail reviews to track all changes and actions within the system. This is vital for maintaining transparency and accountability. Change control records document any modifications made to the system, ensuring that every change is evaluated and approved systematically. Lastly, periodic review reports help us regularly assess the system's performance and compliance over time, catching any issues early and ensuring ongoing quality. All of these documentation elements are interconnected. Together, they form a comprehensive framework that supports validation, compliance, and continuous improvement. They are the backbone of a robust quality management system, aligning perfectly with our overall goal of ensuring safety, efficacy, and regulatory adherence. Now, let's take a closer look at the roles and responsibilities involved in this process. First, the QA team plays a crucial role in providing oversight and approval. They ensure that everything meets our quality standards before moving forward. Next, the IT team is responsible for the configuration and ongoing support, making sure that the systems are set up correctly and run smoothly throughout the project. The validation team is key for planning and executing the validation activities, essentially making sure that all parts are working as they should be. Finally, our business users are central. They define the requirements based on their needs and then test the solutions to confirm everything functions properly in real-world scenarios. Connecting these points to the overall theme, it's really about collaboration and clear roles to ensure success. Each team has a vital part to play, and when everyone understands their responsibilities, the process becomes more efficient and effective. This teamwork ultimately helps us deliver a quality solution that meets business needs and regulatory standards. Now, let's take a look at some of the common challenges we often encounter in this process. First, incomplete documentation is a frequent issue. Without thorough and accurate records, it becomes difficult to ensure compliance and traceability later on. Next, scope creep in the user requirements specification, or URS, can be problematic. When the scope keeps expanding without proper control, it can lead to delays and increased costs. Insufficient testing is another critical challenge. Skipping or rushing testing phases can result in undetected issues that compromise quality and safety. Then, there's the lack of periodic reviews. Regular assessments are essential to catch potential problems early and keep the project aligned with its goals. Lastly, vendor-related gaps often come up. Sometimes, vendors may not fully meet expectations or fail to deliver on time, which can disrupt the entire project. Addressing these challenges proactively is vital to maintaining control and ensuring a successful outcome. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key benefits of using CSV files in our processes. First, ensuring compliance is crucial. By standardizing data formats with CSV, we make it easier to meet industry regulations and audit requirements. This helps us avoid costly penalties and keeps us aligned with best practices. Next, improving product quality is a major advantage. When data is accurate and consistent, it supports better decision-making and quality control, leading to fewer defects and higher customer satisfaction. In addition, CSV files greatly increase data reliability. Because the format is simple and widely supported, it reduces the chances of data corruption or misinterpretation, giving us confidence that our information is solid. Finally, using CSVs helps to reduce errors and downtime. Automated data handling becomes more straightforward, which means fewer manual mistakes and less time spent troubleshooting issues. This overall streamlining allows our operations to run more smoothly and efficiently. So, in essence, these benefits collectively reinforce the importance of adopting CSV for our data management, aligning perfectly with our goal of building a more reliable, compliant, and high-quality operational environment. All right, let's wrap things up with a quick summary. First, it's important to remember that CSV, or computer system validation, isn't just a one-time activity. It's a life-cycle process that ensures our systems remain reliable, compliant, and effective throughout their entire lifespan. This means continuously monitoring and updating our validation activities as systems evolve. Next, proper planning, thorough documentation, and rigorous testing are absolutely critical. Without these, we risk gaps in compliance or system failures that could impact product quality and patient safety. Think of it as building a strong foundation. Everything depends on getting these steps right from the start. Finally, adhering to regulatory guidelines like FDA 21 CFR Part 11 and EU Annex 11 isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about demonstrating that our systems maintain data integrity, security, and compliance with international standards. These regulations help us build trust with regulators and ensure our processes are robust and auditable. So, in the broader context of our presentation, remember that effective CSV practices are essential for maintaining quality, compliance, and confidence in our systems. It's about creating a reliable framework that supports the integrity of our products and the safety of those who depend on them. Now, we've reached the final slide, which is all about opening the floor for questions. If anything was unclear, or if you'd like to dive deeper into any of the topics we've covered, this is the perfect opportunity. Remember, no question is too small or too big. Feel free to ask whatever is on your mind. And if you think of something later, don't hesitate to reach out. Just use the contact information provided here. The goal is to ensure you leave with a clear understanding and any support you might need moving forward. So at this point, I'd love to hear from you. What questions do you have? Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to your questions.